jerk because I
What are
exposed
you
you.
gonna tell people that I pulled punishment duty and scrubbed down the showers with a bunch of other
You
people for
did.
punishment? Huh?
What happened in Germany, Rex?
How about telling them about me being
Hey,
taught the
tell
basic training
tell everybody what happened in Germany,
in Germany?
and don't lie because I have your DD 214 in front of me, and I have your service
I'm
record in
not going
front
to
of
tell
me.
you a damn thing about what
Tell
happened in
me
Germany.
what happened in Germany.
What
Why
happened in
were you
Germany?
discharged from the army?
There was two
Tell me
reasons.
why.
Three reasons. It
And
turned
don't
out my
lie
mother.
because I'll know if you
I'm
do.
not gonna lie. Hey, you're going to hear some names now. My
I'm
mother
I'm
picked up
ready.
Mr. Obermeyer, which was a Senator Obermeyer. The thing of it is, I was an only son. I had just got married. My father gave me a choice. Either I don't get married and I can stay at home and have my inheritance, or I did get married and he would cut me off my inheritance and I would have to leave. I
Right.
settled the problem. I joined the
I
army.
know. I know you joined
What
the
I
army.
didn't
What
know,
what
I did not
happened in
know, my
Germany?
father turned around and called the MEP Center.
I'm asking
And
you
when he
what
called the MEP
happened in
Center, he
Germany.
explained the electronics background that I had. And he
You,
got me MOS, which was supposed to be computer repair depot level, which is level 4.
but that
At
was
the
not your
with
that
the
was not
Pentagon,
your
with
MOS
the
though, Rex.
Pentagon. No, that was a Pentagon duty station, dude. The thing of
What
it is,
was your
I
original MOS when you joined?
would have been there on 9/11 if I had actually got that job, because that was my job, is to change
No,
over
no,
computers
Rex,
and
it
stuff.
was not.
It was. That would have been
No,
my
it was
job.
not.
Now, the other
No.
job I wanted was a Hawkeye.
Dude,
I
they
wanted to
kicked
be a
you off of
Hawkeye
guard
there
duty in
because I wanted
Germany.
the rest of my A&P. I already had most of my A&P from working with my father in experimental
Oh
aircraft.
my god.
Oh my
Your
God!
dad did not do any of that, Rex. I have your
What?
file, dude.
Well,
I
that's
have
nice.
everything
Never
on
got
you.
anything from. He never got anything from Lewis University or the AA.
Um, what
So,
university did you go to?
dude, I was so popular in the EAA. My position when I went to Oshkosh, I was
That's
Warburg's
not
chief.
true.
It
That's
is
not true.
absolutely true. And as a matter of
I
fact,
have I have your records. I have all your
you're
military
full of it.
records.
You're full of
How
it.
am I
I
full
was
of?
with.
As a U.S. Marshal, I can go ahead and get
I
all
was
your records.
working
I have
security
your
for
records.
Oshkosh
You
Second
were
Air.
a mission of mine.
I was a member of the low and slow flying team.
You were a mission of mine.
Well, then you should have done a little bit better research.
I know.
Get,
I have all your records.
no, that doesn't tell
Yes,
you anything. You want to
yes,
know
I
something?
have every single
Close your
record that you have had from the time that you
close
were
your
17
eyes and see
till
what you
now.
see. You see nothing, which is closer to the truth than you are now.
Do
I
you
was never.
realize that
I was a civilian
you,
patrol. Where's my
Rex,
civilian patrol record?
the only reason why you were not put in prison,
What my
Rex,
was in Civil War.
is because other
Tell me
people
what
stood
my
up
rank
for you.
was in the Civil War Patrol. You have my whole record.
I
Tell me what
have
my
your whole
rank was.
record.
I hit my stripes so damn early. I was I was like,
Stripes. Wait a minute. Stripes.
that stripes
What
damn
did you
early. How
get?
come you
On your
patrol?
DD 214
How
after
come
1 year
do not
and
you
6 months
you
in
have
the
all of
army
my
from Germany? What was
know
your
that I was
rank?
search and rescue. You
What
should have known I
was
was
your
rescue from the age of
rank?
13, 14 years old.
And
Now
in
where's that?
Germany, what was your rank?
When I left Germany, I was an E3. As soon as I got back, I was an
That's
E4.
right.
I worked at the Des
No,
Moines
you
Medical
were a
Center for
specialist.
4
And
months.
how long after you were a specialist were you discharged out of the army?
From the time I left Germany, or what do you mean?
I'm asking you as a rank of a specialist in E4 because you've never gone past E4. What
That's because I was
was your?
promoted from zero
You were
from
never promoted.
a year.
You were never ever
In less
promoted
than a year.
anywhere higher than an E4,
In less
Rex.
than a year. I was promoted
No,
to E in less than a year.
you were promoted to a private first class and 1 year and 1 month of your
No,
enlisting.
I'm a specialist, dude. I have
Yeah,
1 year
but
left.
I am telling you, you were an E3
I
1
was a
year and 1 month. You
before I was
started out as
discharged.
an E1. Rex,
So
listen to
you
me.
don't
Will
expect
you
that.
stop for a minute?
That's not what my DD
Rex,
214 says. You don't
I'm
even have my
asking you
DD
to
214.
stop. Yes, I do.
No, you don't, because that's not what it says. I was an
It
E4 when I
does.
was
You
discharged.
were an E4 when you were discharged, yes.
Very
But
good. With 1 year,
at
1 month,
1 year
I
and 1 month,
four
what
ranks.
rank
I
were
had
you
four
before you went
ranks.
to Germany?
That's right.
What rank were you when you went to Germany?
I only had 1 stripe when I got to Germany.
Exactly. When
And
did
I got
you
2 ranks.
become a
That's 2 ranks.
BFC?
I was promoted 2
What?
ranks.
You became an E1 in
No, I
basic.
was an
You
E2 when
were
I was
an
in
E2
I was an
in
E2 in
AIT.
they actually
You were an
promoted me past.
E3 in Germany. And when they discharged
So
you in
what is
Germany,
what
you were a
so
specialist.
why is it
That's
that you
all you
are
were.
interested in this? Why is this important?
It is
For
important
the proof
because
that I
I
have to
want to know
say
the
that
truth,
training
Rex.
behind me
I
because I
want
have to
you.
know how to do
No,
things?
I'm
Well,
not
what's this
trying to
supposed to do?
degrade you. I am not trying to degrade you.
No,
I
I'm
am
saying,
just asking
why
you
would
the
my
truth.
technical background be important?
You said, quote unquote, that you did all these things, right, Rex?
Well, of course I did.
While you were
Why
in
would,
the
why
Army.
would I say
And
I
that's
didn't?
a lie, Rex.
No, it isn't.
What was your MOS? Tell me your MOS right now, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
63
No.
Tango dash 3.
Yeah. You were a 63 Tango, really? You weren't a 12 Bravo? What about the 12? What about the 12 Bravo?
Also trained in nuclear, biological, and chemical
What
warfare
about the 12 Bravo when you
and,
first enlisted?
and high energy weapon training.
No, you were not.
Of course,
There is
it's all,
no classes for that. And
that's
it
all
was
in the
not
back.
classified.
Tell
I
me
can
the
tell you
battle
what's
is-
classified and what's not if you'd like.
Everything else I could touch. I could touch the
Dude,
targeting system.
what is my background? What don't you understand?
What don't you
You
understand?
were
It's
my
all
mission.
M3 Bradley. All
No,
aspects mean
that's a
biological
lie.
information. All
No,
aspects mean
that's a
biological
lie.
information.
You were an
Hydraulics.
E3.
Kinetic.
You were a 12 Bravo when you first joined.
No, I was never a 12 dollar.
You were a 12 Bravo, my friend.
Well,
Prove me wrong.
you prove me. That's not my
I
fault.
am proving you wrong. You were a 12 Bravo, and then you, through AIT, you turned to a 63 Echo.
Computer repair, depot
Bro,
level.
bro,
I had
Rex,
the Black Hawk, which I did
listen,
not
no,
into the
Rex,
Army.
you have
It's
never
almost
been on a
crap.
Black Hawk.
Yeah.
You have never done any classified missions.
So I
You
turned
were
down the
a
Black Hawk
grunt.
mechanic, which
No,
did
you were
qualify.
not.
And then I seen the
Oh my God.
63
Is that all you're going to do is lie to me?
Tango required heavy lifting. So in order
You
to
were
even
a 12
the-
Bravo and
you
went
have
to a
work
63
like
Echo.
an average
You were
person.
discharged in Germany from Fiducia.
No, I wasn't discharged in Germany. I was discharged in Leavenworth.
Well, that's where they sent you after
Well,
Germany.
Well, that's yeah. I was temporary guard for Leavenworth during my last.
No,
days.
you were not a guard.
Well, of course I was. That's the reason why I was discharged.
No,
by
you were
Leavenworth.
not. You were
That's
not a guard.
exactly how we do it.
You
That's
have
well,
never
that's
touched
right.
any
I was at the
classified
Navy.
material.
Well,
You
after
have
that,
never
so
done
I-
anything classified.
paperwork
You
filed
have
arrived.
no
I
classification
flew into
as
Leavenworth, and
anything as
I worked
classified.
there, and while I was there, I pulled guard duty.